Today in this video, I'm going to be explaining and letting you know everything you need to know to beat Roblox Doors, the new hotel update. Within this update and within this video, I'm going to tell you every single entity, how to beat every single entity, what their moves are, the best way to beat it, the best way to survive it, how to beat Doors 1 through 100, all the secrets, everything you need to know to just beat doors 1 through 100. This is not going to include doors A00, you know, those 1000 doors. That could be a totally different separate video just because it's a totally different experience and literally has like really different from the actual door experience, even though it follows the same run through doors, avoid monsters. But within this video, we're going to explain everything you need to know. And in the first step of it, we're going to be explaining all the entities, like, you know, the more likely ones to encounter and the least likely ones to encounter. And then we're going to go and explain all the doors, how to do the boss fights, everything like that. So without further ado, let's go hop in the video and tell you everything you need to know. Okay, so now for the entities. The very first entity you're probably going to encounter, but I don't know which one you're going to encounter first, you know, it's randomized. But the one that most likely everybody encounters, you're going to see probably 10 to 50 times around in one run, is Rush. And I'll probably be exaggerated, you know, maybe not 50, maybe like what, 5, 10 maybe. But Rush is literally, as his name says, he rushes into the room. The minute you enter the room, how you can know he's coming is by seeing the light flicker. You can hear like little bulbs flickering, and by seeing the lights flicker, sometimes he's not coming. Sometimes it's because the seek chase is about to start, and you're probably wondering what is that if you have no idea. I will get into that later on. But if you see the light flickering, just go into the nearby locker. But if there's no nearby locker, then most likely it's not gonna be Rush, because Rush only rushes into the room when there's more than around 2 lockers in. But if you're in a full game of 4, it has to be around 4 lockers in a room, I think, for Rush to rush in. But if you see the light flickers, go near a chest or a wardrobe and do not enter just yet. You don't want to enter because you have to wait until you hear it. And if you start hearing noises gradually getting louder coming at you, run in the closet. The reason why you do not want to go in the closet just yet is because there's actually an entity called Hide in there. Hide only appears when you're in a locker for too long, and then you start hearing weird noises. The whole screen starts turning red and says get out, not sound, but shows get out on your screen. And then literally after around 15 to around 10 seconds, it kicks you out of the locker. Half of your health is gone, and you know you're not able to get back in any lockers or any closets or any beds for literally like what, 10-15 seconds. So that's Hide. You do not want to go do that, and it's gonna be pretty difficult for ambush. We're gonna get into that a little bit later on. So the minute you hear Rush coming in, just run in a closet, wait for Rush to rush by, and the minute he's gone, at least wait 4 to 3 seconds just to be safe, because there is like a really small percent chance that Rush comes backwards and bounces back like ambush does, but it's a really low chance. I only got that once in my playthrough, and that was even before the hotel update, and I play Doors a lot, so you know, ever since the new hotel update, I haven't seen that happen to anyone. But just to be sure, you don't want to get out just yet unless Hide is, you know, about to get you. So now on to the next entity that you're probably going to encounter. SCREECH. SCREECH is the next entity you're probably going to encounter, and who knows, SCREECH might have been your first one. Who knows? But SCREECH only appears in dark rooms. So the minute you enter a dark room, you probably hear some soundtrack going like dun dun, or like some weird, not the Netflix theme, just some like ambience start playing, and then the room is dark. When you're in a new room, and this usually happens when Rush rushes in, or you know, when the room becomes dark, you have to look around. Because sometimes, you know, SCREECH could be right there. You'll hear sometimes this, psst, and if you hear that, you have to like look around all the way. If you do see SCREECH, it's gonna look like some octopus-looking thing with a huge smile with 2 wide eyes, literally looking at you. Look like it came out of something from Bendy and the Ink Machine. Just look at that thing for a few seconds and start screaming and back away. And then if you do not look at it and you keep looking around and you can't find him, and then he still jump scares you and grabs you, well, it's gonna take a little bit of your health out, and you do not want that to happen. So if you ever see SCREECH, just look at him directly, and he should disappear. And SCREECH only appears in dark rooms, and there is a chance of SCREECH without saying psst, he could be with you. So just keep looking around, because sometimes he'll say psst and sometimes he won't. So you got to be 100% prepared anytime you're in a darker room. So now you know what to do to beat SCREECH. Now, the next one is another common one that you're probably going to see in the run too, DUPE. DUPE is one of the new entities that literally just came out, or literally just started coming since the hotel update, and he wasn't in the original game. Dupe is a brand new entity that tricks you because when you enter a new room, there is a slight chance of there being 2 doors. Yes, 2 different doors with 2 different numbers on them. And you try to go backwards to look at the door you just came in to count and see what the right number is, but it's been all messed up. It's all squiggled down. You cannot count it. So you can either do 2 things. 1, risk it and just take the door, but that will take literally half of your health. So if you mess up twice by dupe, you'll literally die. And during each run of doors, you only have 2 lives. And to literally respawn again, you're gonna have to spend Robux too. So if you do not have a lot of Robux, I definitely do advise you to listen to these little tips. So the first one is, every time you go into the door, just say your name. Just say the door name, like 9. I mean the number. Just say 9. Then when you get to the next one, 10, and keep saying that. Maybe type it in chat to be safe. If you're playing with other people with microphone or playing in the game, just say, hey, remember the door we entered is 9. And then you get to the door and you'll be like, hey, look, it says it's 11 or 10. You're at 9, so you know it's 10. But sometimes you get distracted. Maybe rush came through, maybe something happened, they got you distracted, or you just do not want to keep remembering numbers. So the first thing you have to do is go near the door a little bit. If the door does not have a lock on it and it's just open up door, you do not want to go too close, because if you go too close, it's just gonna auto, open the door and you're gonna get jump scared by dupe. So go a little bit close and then put your headphones to the blast. Tell everyone to be silent if you listen to them, and just hear for a little ambience. If you hear noises coming out, sometimes you get like or something like that, some weird noise, then you do not want to go in that door. Go near the other door. If you don't hear anything, then you know that door is safe and you go through that door. You should hear a little noise just to be sure. And if the door is locked and you need to find a key to open up that door, just go all the way near that door. Listen out for something. The more close you are, the more you get to actually hear out for the sound. And that's the best way to avoid dupe. But he is pretty difficult and we all really hate him. But that's gonna be the next one you're probably gonna encounter. Okay, so the next one you're probably going to encounter is going to be Seek, because most likely these are all the other entities already pop up, but now it's probably going to be Seek. Seek is kind of like a boss fight type thing. He's one of the creatures and entities that you cannot use a crucifix on, and you're probably wondering what is a crucifix if you never played Doors before, or if just don't know anything about it. Well, anywho, the crucifix is able to actually go and what's it called again? Defeat an enemy or defeat an entity. If your entity's running at you or doing anything, you just hold the crucifix out and it's able to grab them down below and take them to the underworld, Pretty interesting, right? But sadly, the crucifix does not work on 2 entities. It works on every other one except for 2. It does not work on Seek, and it does not work on the figure. Those 2 are kind of boss fight level entities. They're intense. You have to outrun them. So Seek is, Seek is literally like what his name says. He seeks you out. When you're gonna start getting Seek is when you start seeing eyeballs all over the room. If the lights flicker and you don't hear Rush coming in, then and you're around door 20 to around door 30 or something like that, you're gonna see Seek. So you start walking around, seeing the eyes until you get to a long corridor with no eyes. Then Seek's casing is gonna happen. Go to the end of the door, the cutscene starts playing, and then Seek comes out with his brand new animation and then starts chasing you. So in this new thing, the guiding lights is gonna be your key player. It's gonna help you out. If you have med pills, definitely do take your med pills. It's definitely gonna go help you out. And then you have to go crouch under some furniture. Click C to doing that. It literally tells you in the game. And the best you want to do is never go backwards. Seek is literally chasing you and you have to outrun him. And then you're going to get to the part where there's 3 doors. One in the middle, one in left, and one in the right. So now you have to see which one's real, because you do not want to turn back, because that wastes time. And you can only do that once. So if you make a mistake once and you have to turn back, you're only able to really do that once, because at that point, Seek has already caught up to you, and it's probably going to be too late for that. So when you see the doors, you should see the guiding lights. Take a few seconds just to look at each door. If you do not see it on the left, do not see on the right, just keep going forward. It's on the right, on the middle. So just keep going to those doors, keep crouching under things, and then you're gonna make it to a long corridor with the homeless and inky hands and fire around the place. Go to the exact same pattern that I'm showing you on the screen right now. You want to avoid all the inky hands, avoid all the fire. The fire damages you, but the inky hands instantly kill you. So if you take the wrong path, you literally die. And then once you run out of the last door, you hear screaming, that's it, you're safe. You beaten Seek. But Seek doesn't stop there, since he actually appears twice in a run, around door 70 to around door 60 and door 20 to around door 30. But there is a slight chance, a very low chance, you're only going to encounter him once during a run. During the new Doors update, hotel update, I only encountered him once during one of my runs of like 10, so it is, like I said, a slow chance, but you're most likely going to encounter him twice. So if you do die at that point in the first Seek chase, I definitely do advise you playing the entire game again, because if you die the second one, you're probably going to lose that far in the game, and it's not going to be good for you. Okay, so for next entity, this is just an honorable mention since he can't really do anything to you. It's Jack. You all know Jack. He literally inside of a closet. You try to open up the closet, and he just goes and screams and jump scares you. He just jump scares you, no health taken out. Nothing's wrong. You can literally enter the closet again. It only takes a few seconds off, but you do not want Jack to appear when Rush or Ambush is trying to get you, so you don't want that to happen. So you just go near a closet, you hear some noise, hear some rumbling near the closet, then you know that's Jack. You can open it up, just get the achievement, and if you're trying to run from Seek or Ambush, then maybe go to another nearby closet, or just click spamming E until you finally get inside. But that's just an honorable mention since he can't really do anything to you. Now the next entity we're going to be talking about is Ambush, a literally hated upon entity since I hate it, since I only beat Ambush within the old game. When it comes to the new hotel update, I never beat him once. Ambush is pretty hard to actually get. You can really only get him around once a round, but there is multiple chances of you getting him. There is a slight chance you get him a door, like the first 10 doors somehow. And also people have been getting him around doors 20, 30, and even 40. So it is a slight chance, but it's extremely low. But no matter what, there's also a really slow chance, or slim chance, of you actually not getting him at all during a round. But the highest chance is you getting him around once during a round. And it's not at the beginning. It's literally around door 70 to door 80 is a chance of you actually encountering Ambush. And, it pretty much sucks. We all hate Ambush. Ambush is exactly like Rush, but instead of just running by once, you can hear him for a little bit. He feels like things are breaking, things are coming down, and you start hearing his siren type things. Run in the closet the second you start hearing it out, and the minute he goes back twice, get out and get back in, because unlike Rush, Ambush goes back and forth for a good 30 to 20 seconds, and that's not good, because the entity that we mentioned earlier, Hide, is going to be inside of a chest waiting for you to literally die. So you have to keep leaving the second you see Ambush leaves. If you hear Ambush coming back again and you're ready in the closet about to leave, do not do it. Just risk Hide, because Ambush is literally going to get you one shot. It's a one-shot kill, exact same thing like Rush and all the other entities. Well, except for Screech and Seek also is a one-shot too, if you're wondering. So yeah, Ambush pretty much sucks. So if you have the crucifix on you, 100% use that man. But if you do die, sorry. But if I hope you definitely beat him. I haven't beat him in the new update because he is pretty difficult to get out, get back in, get back in. You can watch some YouTube tutorials. I also show you some footage on screen too. But yep, that is Ambush. And now let's go back to another honorable mention. And that is Glitch. Glitch is not really an entity. It's just something that the game has in to really fix it. You cannot use a crucifix on Jack or Glitch the same way you can't use it on Seek or the figure. But the reason why you cannot use it on Glitch and Jack is because they're not really entities. They don't really harm you. Glitch is only there just in case a level deloads and doesn't load in right. Then the Glitch will go and load you into a brand different room. It brings you into a different room. He does not hurt you, nothing like that. It gets like a quick little jump scare and brings you into a different room. And you can also get the achievement if you never had it. So, pretty cool. Nothing harming about that. And also, forgot to mention something else I was going to mention. Oh yeah, and Ambush was actually made really for bug fixers and like that. They did it for hackers, because let's say a hacker's in the game, you'll get spam. Rush will keep spamming you no matter what. So that's also there for bugs. But no matter what, hackers too. But if you're not a hacker, you just have to worry about them, just for probably once around. And now, for the next entity, probably the most annoying and hardest entity, and I think the last one, it's the figure. The figure is a boss fight type level, boss. Here, no matter what, the figure will 100% guaranteed chance appear twice within a run. And when you see him, it's going to be an intense moment. Within the very first one is exactly at door 50, no matter what, 100% chance at door 50. And the second one is a 100% chance at door 100. So, the figure is actually blind. He cannot hear, he cannot see her at all, but he has incredible hearing. So, if you walk standing up, the figure is just gonna rush you, and then you're gonna have to run into a closet and do his little mini game. His little mini game is either heart. You can click E or Q, and you just have to click him on Q for each of the different types of heart clicks on if it's on the left or if it's on the right. But you can also use your mouse, and that's something I did not know because I didn't use my mouse when I first played it, and it kind of sucked. I kind of literally lost. But yeah, I definitely do advise just crouching and not going anywhere near the figure. So if you see him start running at you, just go to the closet. But I definitely do advise in the whole library section. It's just to crouch down, sit down, Don't do anything. I mean, do something. Just don't try to aggro him. So the very first thing you want to do is start walking around until you start hearing glitters. You hear glitters, you see a book kind of sticking out of a shelf, grab that. You can run around back and forth like I'm showing in the video, like the pattern, and then just go back and forth, try to avoid the figure, go up and down and grab every single book that you can. Then go and run down to the little like window section, and I'm going to show you now. There's a whole like different table there, a desk. Then go and grab the paper. You do not need to stand up for this. All you have to do is just move your mouse up. If you stand up, it does cause him to sometimes run at you, but that didn't happen for me. But I advise you not to stand up. Go grab the piece of paper and it's going to tell you the order, as you guys can actually see right here on the screen. So guys, when it actually comes to it, I'm going to show you the piece of paper on the screen right now, and as you actually see there, it gives you 3 different shapes. I think it's always randomized different times, who actually knows, and there is actually 5 different locks, and it tells you they have different type of, I think it's like I forgot what type of letter those are. Anywho, they had the letters on top with different ones, like 1, 2, 3, then 1, and then it looks like a V, and then another V. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And I think mythology, don't know, Greeks, do not know if I'm even saying it right. But anywho, as you guys can see in the corresponding number on the bottom, it shows you which letter is gonna go in which place. And once you get all the books, it has different numbers and different letters. So let's say that, as you guys can see, an X equals 5. That means the number 1 is 5. The triangle or the hexagon is, or whatever that thing is actually 2. So it means it's number 2, and you can see it's a 0. So that means it's 0. And the diamond is actually number 1, but you can see the diamond's not on the paper, meaning that that's not part of the key. So all you have to do is literally just go grab all the books, and once you have all the books, and it'll tell you each symbol, each shape, what they equal to in a number, and you just need to use a piece of paper to see which numbers go in which place. But if you're playing with other people and they have the code already, tell them do not open it up until I get to the place, because if they open it up and you're not there, the figure is gonna start getting mad and you're gonna start sprinting for the door. You don't sprint in time, that's it, you're dead. It literally sucks. So you have to do that, and that's how you beat the library boss fight. Okay, now for door 100. Before we actually go into the door 100, let's go and talk about the greenhouse section, because this is pretty tricky. When you get to the door around 90 or door 88 or something like that, you're gonna get to the whole calm place where you just walk around. There's nothing gonna harm you. It's all nice until you walk into the next room, and it's gonna be the greenhouse level. I definitely do advise you to have some light. You can still do it without any light, but if you have light with you, it's gonna make it, I don't know, 1,000 times easier. Because in the greenhouse level, there's 2 different type of layouts. One that looks like an L, something like that, it curves, and one of them that's just straight. If it's just straight, you have the best luck. The minute you open up the door, keep sprinting into the next locker. There's different lockers around the beginning of a door and around the end of the door. You have to sit in your locker, because in the greenhouse section, Rush likes to come in multiple times, back after back. And there's also something on the floor. Thorns and spikes. You step on those, it takes some of your health away, and it stops you for at least like 3 seconds, meaning if Rush is coming in, you don't have enough time to run into one of the new lockers and cabinets in the greenhouse. So keep going through the doors. There's around 6 or 7 or 5 of these different type of greenhouse doors. So you just want to keep on running. Wait to the door like I'm showing on the screen. If he's coming, run in the closet right the minute he comes. Rush goes by, runs into the next room. Look down on the ground with the light and just look into the next closet. And just do that until you enter door 100. Then when you enter door 100, like I said, you're gonna have the second boss fight with the figure. So when after that, all you have to do is just walk up to the figure. Walk up to the whole door, pull the lever. Oh look, cutscene. Then you're running for your life. So you're probably wondering what you should do now. Well, at this whole entire point, the main thing you can easily actually do 3 things. Number 1, the normal way. You just run into a closet and do a little heart game mini game, like we said. Right click, left click, or E or Q. I do advise clicking, because using Qs is pretty difficult, or tapping if you're on mobile. And if you beat this on mobile and you came this far on mobile, you just get a congratulations. You're a legend for doing that. And anywho, that's the normal way. Walk into a closet, he walks away, closet, you come out of the closet, crouch, and then do the whole entire mini game which I'll tell you later on. Or you get a crucifix, walk up to him, get him with the crucifix, make sure he's frozen, run around the corner like I'm going to show you on screen, hide behind one of the little shelves, and then boom, he lost track of you. Because remember, he's blind, so if you walk at least a distance away from him and walk into one of the rooms, he will not see you. So let's say the third way is if you don't have a crucifix and you do not like doing the mini game and you're not good at it, like I'm not either, and the second time I was trying to beat the game, we get sprinted for me, my buddy. I'm showing you on screen now. While running to the corner, he's still chasing us, but once you get to the back of the corner, you crouch behind one of the shelves, and then he loses interest in you and walk away. Good. Now you do not have the intention of the figure, and now you need to actually do the mini game, and that's collecting around 10 of those little battery generators. So how to do that? Well, there's like 3 or 4 different rooms. I'm going to show you off on the screen here too. You collect the different batteries. It makes little shining sparkled blue like the whole guiding lights. And then you go and grab and collect them. Then you crouch your way to the next room. Make sure you do not touch the figure. Make sure he's not near you. You can hear, because if his footsteps get louder, that means he's walking towards you and you need to go the opposite way. And if you're crouching, you should be able to outwalk him. But if he's pretty close, then I don't think you'll be able to outwalk him. Run into a room. Stay safe. And if you see him running at you, then just run in the closet. Do not stand up at any moment. Go into the different rooms, collect all of them, and then after that, when you see him probably missing some and you walked around it all, you don't hear the glitters, then walk up to the metal one. Once you get to the whole exit sign and you're walking up the stairs up to the elevator, then you're able to actually uncrouch because the figure does not go past that level. Then you can actually walk into the room. You can see there's a key and get maybe the rest of the batteries, and after you have all the batteries and the key, walk down to the power room, open up the door, and you can easily just walk there if the figure's not nearby, and then put in all the batteries and then do the puzzle game. It's a little quick puzzle where there's 10 different lights, and then it tells you there's a square and then there's the full square. If you see the full square, that means that you have to click that one. Then you click to the responding one, and you have to do that 3 different times, and it gets faster and faster all 3 times. I'm also showing it on screen. But the minute you're all done with that, it's gonna close, another cutscene's gonna happen, and you do not need pills for this, but all you have to do is run. Take a sprint to the elevator while you just walk. I'm also showing you guys on the screen here too. And you don't have to click, you don't have to do anything, just walk in the elevator, and once you're in it takes at least 1 or 2 seconds, and the cutscene will play, and congratulations, you just beat Doors. But if you thought it was over, well, actually no, because there's some things you're going to keep in mind and have to keep in mind. There's more entities. Yeah, there's an entity called HALT. HALT is literally, like its name says again, you have to halt when you see it, but not fully stop, you know. If you're, it's like, you know, you're in a dark room. Everything becomes green here, static. You're walking, like I'm showing on screen. You have to be walking, and if it tells you to turn around, showing a reverse arrow on your screen, it shows like a little turnaround. Turn your character around and keep going the opposite way, and do not look at HALT. You look at HALT, he's gonna run at you and kill you like I just showed you on screen, so do not do that. Then you just keep on turning back and forth until you finally get out, or until it all stops. And if he does run at you, he can only do that twice. If you have 100% full health, he does that twice, he kills you. So he's not instant kill, but he does take a huge chunk out of your health, and you do not want that to happen because you could easily lose during a run. So yeah, do not do that. Okay guys, so the next entity we're going to be talking about is Eyes. Eyes is another rare entity which you're probably going to encounter once or twice in your game. You can literally experience it multiple times in the game, but there is a slim chance you're not going to experience him. But Eyes is literally just a whole bunch of eyes. The minute you open up the door, you're going to hear some weird, distorted sounds, and the whole room is going to illuminate purple or bluish. Just look down immediately. Look down, because Eyes, the minute you look at him, every millisecond or every second that you look at him, he takes a little bit of a health. You look at him for too long, more than like 3 to 4 seconds, boom, dead. So just look down if you hear the noise. Just, you know, if you see him, look down in the minute of the second. If you do not have a fast reaction time, you will be dead, and he would get you. Also, if I have to tell you for honorable mentions, Jack, you know, like we mentioned before, Jake, whatever his name was, he's able to actually pop up in your door, and, you know, not just in the closets, you could also do the exact same thing for regular doors, but it's like an extremely low chance I never even experienced it. And now for one of the last entities, or I'm pretty sure this is the last entity. I'm going to pause after I'm done talking about this entity to see if this is really the last one. But now we got ourselves here, Timothy. Literally another rare entity, which is not, you're not going to experience on a daily basis. It's a rare chance to get him, but sometimes you get a lot of him. Sometimes you get little of him. But Timothy is just a small little spider. And he has a really low chance and really rare chance of actually getting him, unless there's a high chance. I don't know. I really hardly experience him. There's not many people hardly experiencing him. Timothy is in the whole drawers. He's in the wardrobes. He's in anything they could open up. Like, let's say, not wardrobes. He's in like the closets, the shelves. Not closets. Why am I saying these things? He's in like the the cabinets, those little things. What are they called? Shelves, or whatever those things are called. I literally forgot that. Every time you open up one of the little shelves I'm showing on the screen here, there, he has a little chance of boom jump scaring you, and it's pretty low, but he takes a little bit of a health. He takes the least health out of any entity out there, and it's still a low chance of that happening. And sadly, you cannot use a crucifix on him either. You cannot use a crucifix on Jack, Timothy, or Figure, Seek, and even Jack or Jake, whatever his name was. You can't use this crucifix on any of those. And the ones that you could use a crucifix on, but it would break, was actually Seek and the Figure. It would slow them down for a little bit, but it would just break it shortly after. But when it comes to Timothy, Jake, or Jack, whatever his name is, they do not use a crucifix. It just will not work. It just wouldn't do anything to them, so because they don't really harm you that much, I guess. Okay, so that's for all the different type of entities that you can encounter. Now, just doors is the whole premise of the game, and all you have to do is walk through all the doors. If you play doors, you know what it is. If the door is locked, usually within that one room, you're gonna be able to look throughout different doors and look for a key. But if there's a gate in one of the doors, all you have to really do is just run down, go look for a different lever within the whole different cellar. Go look, pull the switch, or maybe you have to go through a few vents to do that. Use a key, look for a key in there, or you can use a lockpick and then lockpick your way through. And it's really just like that. Some games you have to look for, some doors you have to look for keys, and some doors you just walk through. It's really easy like that until you just come to a seek chase or usually a boss fight. It's really just simple like that too. The whole thing is do not die. But after door 50, actually in door 52, there's actually a 100% chance of you getting Jeff's shop. It's a brand new thing that came out in the new Doors Hotel update. Wow, we got here Jeff. He's a small businessman having some great items to sell. He has two great items you can only get in his shop: the skeleton key and the crucifix. You can only get them once in the shop, and you cannot get twice in the shop. But there is an extremely low chance of you not getting the crucifix. Yes, sometimes it will not be for sale there, and it just has some other random items. So yeah, it only happened to me once out of 10 rounds, so you don't really have to worry about it, but it is a slow chance of that happening without seeing any there. And the key and the crucifix both cost a whopping 250 gold. So yeah, now if you don't know anything about doors, to actually get gold is within all the different drawers, the different shelves. You just go get them keys. Sometimes they're laying around on tables. If you see bigger gold piles, that means you're gonna get a lot more. So I guess within all doors once until door 52, just start saving up. And if you do not have enough for one of the items you're trying to get, go a little bit ahead. You could go around 5 to around 4 doors ahead to collect some gold, and then you're still able to go back. But if you go any ahead, the doors is really just gonna close, and it's not gonna allow you to go back. But sometimes it does let you go a little bit more ahead, but you don't really want to take that risk and just try to get the items you want. And if you have 100 gold coins and you don't want to buy anything, you can put it in his donation tip jar, and you're going to get a badge. And within the Roblox game Donate Me, you're going to get an exclusive booth, so that is pretty cool. And my next Tim is going to be on the table. You're going to see yourself El Goblin and Bob the Skeleton. Bob the Skeleton does nothing. You hold E, so it's this did nothing. This did nothing. I tried to do it for 10 times holding it. I tried doing it while holding the key, skeleton key. I tried doing it while holding the crucifix, holding different items. No matter what, Bob did nothing. So I don't know if there's any Bob jump scare or anything like that. I do know people made fan jump scares, but I don't think Bob has any real jump scare. And El Goblin just tells you some secrets, there are some strange things going around in door 60, and it's the way to get to A000 rooms, the 1000 doors, literally the most really difficult thing that would be a totally different video to talk about. And El Goblin just tells you some lore and different secrets, and also explains how he's the one running around the room, because when you're playing doors, you start hearing some rumbling around, some walking around the doors. That's him, El Goblin, running around doing all that. But anywho, that's really it. Any advice that I definitely would give you is to definitely have some, knobs, buy some knobs, get an extra life, because yes, all this information, but sometimes even with extra lives, you could die still. So I do advise you to have 2 lives, and if, I definitely do advise you saving up for the skeleton key and the crucifix, or just buying both of them, because if you have the skeleton key, you'll be able to open up the skeleton door at around door 63, 67, or even 70, I think. It's like the whole infirmary. It's always going to appear during a run once. You open up the skeleton key door, you open up that door, what you'll be able to get? a flower. You hold that flower, the herb or whatever that thing is called, it'll give you an extra heartbeat. Meaning if you get hurt by like Timothy, the eyes, you know, Screech, if you get hurt by any of them and your health starts going down, you'll always be able to regen you. So yeah, unlike the insta-kill dudes, they take your life away. And if you do die by an insta-kill and you use a revive, the herb will go away, sadly. Unless you have your skeleton key and you didn't use it and you died and you're able to use it, you'll be able to go back. That's what really the skeleton key is used for in the crucifix. Like we said, it can stop any other entity except for, you know, well, it can only slow down Seek and slow down the figure, and every other entity you'll still be able to actually, you know, fully stop them, except for Jack or Jake, whatever his name is, and Timothy. Both of those are, and also Glitch. Those three entities you can't use it on because they don't really hurt you at all, except for Timothy, but still you can't use it on any of those three as the time of recording this. And that's really it. I definitely do advise to take some med kits, some lock picks, just in case you need it. It's because sometimes there are different chests and different things around the rooms and the doors they'll be able to actually use to get some gold coins and stuff like that to actually save up for the skeleton key and the crucifix. So I definitely do advise that. The medicine's good for a first time playing a Seek chase, so you're able to run around and you have a better chance of surviving. And also just having yourself here an extra lighter and a flashlight and a lighter. Both those are good for the dark rooms. You don't want to, you know, if you want to see in the dark, but I definitely do advise if you have them and you see them start to run low, try to save up because there's some batteries around the entire map, and there's also a chance of you finding a flashlight, lock picks, and even a lighter during a run. But it is pretty low, not as low as seeing Timothy, but it's still, you can still find them. It's not a low chance. You can only find probably 3 to 4 of them around a whole entire run of 100 doors. But if you do have it, I definitely do advise saving some left until the greenhouse levels. But there is a slow like chance of you not getting yourself the greenhouse levels, because that happened to me once, but you know, just is gonna happen, so just prepare for it. But anywho, that is how to beat doors 1 through 100. Everything you need to know, all the entities, all the sneaks, all the peaks, everything like that. Stay tuned. If you want to see a whole video, I already bought the whole Screech Plus, so stay tuned for that video of me getting that. And stay tuned and let me know in the comments below if you want me to actually go and do a whole video of how to beat the A000 doors, because you know, like I said, you could actually beat those doors, and there is a possibility of you able to beat them. So you know, just go. Subscribe if you want to. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to actually go and show you guys how to beat it. I never actually beat doors 1 through 1,000 of A000 rooms. I never was actually able to beat them, sadly, but within the original doors, before the hotel update came out, I was able to beat the doors 2 to 3 times with door 1 through 100, and since the new update, I was already able to beat it twice. Once I already knew everything, I was able to beat it super easily, only using 1 life. I mean, never have to use another life. So yeah, hope this tutorial was able to help you. Tell me in the comments below if I missed out on anything or anything you want to add, and if you have some good, valuable information, I'll probably pin your comment. But anywho, see you guys all in the next video, and stay tuned for the whole A00 doors if you want to see it. Goodbye.